It is Sunday night, Sunday, July 10th. Pretty late. We're nearing midnight. And I was getting a head start on work for the week. Getting a little caught up on last week and getting ahead for this week. I was sitting at my desk, and the foot of my bed is right by my chair from my desk. And suddenly I felt the little 16-pound presence of my dog behind me. She had been sleeping on the bed, but there was a shift. So I turned around and she was sitting there staring at me. And this is where I put my phone down, right next to my snoozing dog who snores sometimes and happened to be snoring that night. But basically, I went on to say, maybe this time I won't make it without crying, unlike the night that I recorded this, that I put my work away and turned off the lights, and I lay down with my dog and gave her tummy rubs for, it had to have been an hour. It was a long time. It didn't feel long, but I know it was a while. And as she gets older, she's getting older, I'm just reminded to take those times with her, because she won't be here forever. And she deserves all the love and attention that she gives me given back to her. And I guess this is just a reminder for all the pet owners out there. We have limited time with them. So take every opportunity you have to just lavish them with attention. My tomato plants got a trellis upgrade. We got these little baby plants that are also tomatoes and are starting to grow. It is raining, so of course I had to come out to walk around in the rain. Look, we've got a tomato. It's getting bigger. Ooh, and there are more. There's a whole little patch. That's cute. It was a little chilly now, which is nice. It was hot today. I don't like hot weather. Every summer, I put berry picking on my bucket list, and every summer, it never happens. This summer, I was determined to go berry picking. My plan for last week had been to take my nephew strawberry picking while he was in town. Strawberry fields had opened the week before. But the heat we've had this summer caused strawberries to ripen faster, in smaller sizes, and at lower quantities. So by the end of the weekend, even the biggest strawberry fields in the cities were picked out. As soon as I saw that raspberries were ripe, I made plans with my mom, and we visited a strawberry field. It turns out picking raspberries isn't cheaper than going to a grocery store, and it's a lot more work. But going to the store doesn't build memories like raspberry picking does. I have just been filming some makeup videos for YouTube. I also brought that tripod out that I just used. That one. Hey, it is getting dark, but last night I was watching some YouTube videos from Maddie Taylor. She's a van life person, And I just went back to the beginning to watch some of her videos. In one video, she found some rose hips and collected them to make tea. And she talked about how, like, finding things in nature. I was thinking of, like, people who garden. Like, I have herbs that I love growing herbs because I love, like, cooking and running outside to get some herbs to include. But anyway, she was talking about finding things in nature that you can bring in and, like, these rose hips make into tea, and how that is one of the ways that you can actually experience nature with all, I keep wanting to say with all 5 senses. And I was thinking about that in connection to, like, people who do a lot of foraging or gardening for their own foods, or like either now or in the past. I thought of my grandmother. She had 11 kids and her husband was a pastor. And we all know what a pastor's salary is like. Not like a megachurch pastor, but like the ordinary everyday pastor. And yeah, she would, I was talking to my mom about this day, and I was like, I can remember times when we'd be driving and she'd be like, stop, and my grandpa would pull over and she'd run off to the side of the road and come back with asparagus. Like, she knew where she could find different foods. I was thinking also of her. I've heard stories about her fishing. She would fish to provide meat for the family, and she also just really liked it, but at least that's what I've heard. I'm pretty sure she liked it. But she would leave, like, the children back at home, and she could hear them enough that she knew if she needed to return. But this was also her time to get away and get some, like, peace and quiet and solitude, her time. This was like her self-care time, filling her own cup so that she could take care of her children. And how, I was just thinking, she's out there experiencing nature with 4 senses. And she's going to collect this fish and bring it in and eat it and taste it and experience it with that sense. And it was also this time of just self-care for her. And I don't have anything great to say about this other than it made me think. So do with that what you will. But today I actually do have some spearmint and mint that I would like to collect. I should collect it soon. Although I looked at it the other day and it was looking a little thirsty, so it may not have survived some of our hot days that we've had recently. But if that's the case, I will get more. And I'd like to make it into tea. I keep saying 4 senses. With all 5 senses, we have 5. Yeah. I should go in the house now. It is getting really dark out here, and I think there are more mosquitoes.